Monday, December 22nd, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Accept warm greetings from this end. It is with renewed delight and privilege that we bring you today's edition of Well in Print. Well in Print is your bi-weekly program where we bring you news headlines as reported by newspapers around the globe. Don't go away, for we shall be right back just after the transition. Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just tuning in, you are live on Pan-African Media TV, and the program on air is Well in Print with me, Frida EGBESON. I was saying that it is with renewed delight and privilege that we bring you news headlines as recounted by newspapers around the globe. And on today's edition of the program, I won't be alone in the house, but before I go introducing our guest of today, up next is our weekly newspaper roundup, taking us with the first flight taking us to the United States of America with Washington Post newspaper. The Washington Post this morning is carrying as major caption, our first flight is taking us to the United States of America with the Washington Post newspaper, ladies and gentlemen, carrying as major headline, Federal takeover left lasting marks in DC. In Congress height, the paper reports that community residents say law enforcement tactics deepened their mistrust. From the Washington Post, we move over to US Today that carries as major caption, more over Santa. Mrs. Claus is coming to town and to the US. They are talking about Christmas, that Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, of course, will be visiting the town, and of course to see how to give gifts to the young ones. Away from that, Los Angeles Times this morning carries as headline, Washington Times saying that Hollywood in turmoil as AI enters the scene. The coming of the artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, is something that is causing the world to shake, with various professions and professionals having their hearts in panic. So the paper is talking this morning about Hollywood in turmoil as the actors and actresses are in panic because of the coming to place of artificial intelligence. From the US, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to the United Kingdom this morning with Financial Times. Financial Times is carrying as caption, foreign buyers are signed up undervalued UK companies as take over and surge 74%. The Yorkshire Post on its part carries as caption, Whitehall threats to regions. They say that prospect trumps not work. While Morning Star still in the United Kingdom this morning is carrying as caption, patient survival clearly linked to nursing numbers. The paper is saying this morning that the survival of patients who have been admitted in the hospital is closely linked to the number of nurses in the said hospital. From the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, we cross over to the African continent with our first flight taking us to Nigeria through its business. This Sunday newspaper carrying as caption, Dangote breaking the jinx as refinery ends petrol scarcity. Dangote is one of Africa's best businessman, is one of African elite that is making the continent proud. Being in Nigeria, and he is not just dependent or working for Nigeria, he's working for the entire African continent. At times when petrols are expensive in Nigeria, it affects Cameroon and that affects other neighboring countries. And from there we move over to the Punch that reached this morning, alleged alteration. The Punch since still in Nigeria, presidency kicks as Atiku and Obi fight tax law. No going back on January 1st. Implementation presidency alteration dangerous for our democracy, says Atiku. From Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to Cameroon with the Guardian Post newspaper carrying as caption this morning: government secures 51.8 billion francs CFA to revive and modernize the CDC, while the drum captions 2026 budget. Palmoil Plantation PLC adopts over franc CFA 23 billion. Cameroon Insider on its part still talks on the same headline, ladies and gentlemen: francs CFA 51.8 billion available for CDC palm oil and rubber plants. While the Sun captions this morning: Professor Ngomo Horace Manga steering UB through reform, resilience and global recognition. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya, Professor Horace Ngomo Manga, says speaks on academic quality for the University of Boya, expansion and employability. This is how we saw it on today's press review, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for part 2 of the program, where we come analyzing the most catchy news items just after the transition. Welcome back, beautiful people, and I'm not alone in the house today. I've been privileged. It's been a while. He was on the set. I'm on set today with Taa NFORMI FANKA, who is the general president of the ISCC non-governmental organization, and he is here this morning to give his contribution to nation building, and of course to have a pinch on what is happening around the globe. We are here to enlighten you, and join me as we welcome him this morning. Taa NFORMI, you're welcome.
Thank you, Madam EGBESON, Frida, and all panelists and the world. We know over the weekend I learned of a very bad information that there will be no DV, that is to enter America again as they have been doing. You know that the presence of Trump, that he has come back, is so questionable among people and the world. You see that in each field he tries to transform it to his type. You know, all the blacks that were supporting Trump, that he's coming to liberate their stay in America, it is now threatening a lot, and they feel so bad and they feel disappointed. And I think if the world, that we look at America and as a sample to other governments around the world is doing this, therefore other governments should fight for themselves and grow. So we are here to talk a lot, and I'm pleading that our televiewers should be keen enough to know the world in just 1 hour.
Yes, I want to believe that what President Donald Trump of the United States of America is doing is just to open the eyes of our presidents or head of states of other countries. You must learn to give value to what is yours. You know, if you are a Cameroonian and you give value to Cameroon, others are going to respect Cameroon. So he's just struggling to secure. For him, it's America first. And that is, I think, is true in as much as the DV lottery usually help a lot of Africans, where you play and you win and you have the opportunity to travel to the US, you go and work and you make life better. Our governments, our regimes in place should learn to valorize their own people and create opportunities where people no more have this hunger, like you are thirsty for, as we say, falling bush. Because if we think going there to look for greener pasture, we could still make our pasture here green for our citizens. Don't you think so?
If on that point, I'm very okay with you, because we cannot count the number of people that want to reach the diaspora or go into other countries by all cost, and they finish by perishing in the oceans or on the desert. Or we have been seeing a lot of people being drowned in oceans, and it is so bad that this is the problem of poor governance, and the poor governance is as if it has become a duty in Africa. When you count the number of people that get drowned in the rivers, in the oceans, and die in the desert, you will see that we are still far-fetched from doing the right thing. And I think Donald Trump is sending the message across to all leaders that if you are not capable of taking care of your people, you should not come. You should not be a leader, because any leader you should be able to do the goals, to deliver services that will include everybody, not selected few. Because in most African countries, they are doing. You have a clique of leadership where they satisfy themselves and others are dying down, even poor, very poor, and they are not able to have 3 meals a day, and that is so painful to us, because we, at least at the 21st century, with all the intellectuals that we have, they should be at the limelight of leadership. Yet we keep putting some people that are not moving with time.
All right, let's keep the DV lottery site. I want us, before we go analyzing what the newspapers have said this morning, it's Christmas is December 22nd, and in barely 3 days we shall be celebrating Christmas, and a lot is happening. The air is tense. You see people, such markets are saturated, everybody is struggling to buy. We're buying dresses for our kids. We want to keep the environment happy, and I want to say schools closed on the Friday for the end of the first term, and of course those in the primary, the nursery school session had their Christmas feast yesterday. It was like every school. This celebration is usually beautiful. Have you had time to watch a Christmas feast party in any school?
Yes, I went around trying to see the atmosphere, whether it will be more bigger or more enriched than ever before, but I saw that it is diminishing as years begin to pass by. The festival is not as it was in those days. This one is due to the economic failure of management, because anything that happens positively is due to the economic background, and the economic background of our nation is going backward. And I think I want to call the attention of government to see that there are salaries of civil servants, and even in the private sector, many private teachers are dying without somebody coming for that to intervene. You see that when a government system is put in place, and when they fight in other ways that everybody should feel fine in each sector, will be good. And even the buying, those in the market trying to buy or the feast, you see that it is not it, because everything is dear in the market. When things are dear like that, it is not at the reach of everybody. So we pray that the price control and other things should be looked into, so that at least a normal Cameroonian should be able to enjoy his or herself during this festival. Yesterday
we took our cameras down a school, Anjani Bilingual Nursery and Primary School, Logbaba Douala. I was saying that yesterday, Saturday, we took our cameras to Anjani Bilingual Nursery and Primary School, Logbaba, and we had this beautiful Christmas feast organized by the management of the school. So I want us to have a look, then we come back to say one or two things as in what was happening yesterday. Can we please have images of Anjani Bilingual on screen?
Présente le discours, Madame la fondatrice, Monsieur le directeur, personnel enseignant, honorables invités, bonjour et bienvenue à l'école maternelle primaire bilingue Anjani. Nous sommes ravis de vous voir nombreux, réunis autour de nous en ce jour pour partager ce moment joyeux qui est la fête de Noël. Nous voici arrivés au terme du premier trimestre et ça n'a pas été facile. Mais grâce à nous, grâce à l'encadrement de nos maîtresses, nous avons eu un lien positif. Nous qui étions des petits enfants, en 3 mois sommes devenus grands et nous avons fait beaucoup de choses, comme la lecture, l'écriture, les récits et autres. Aujourd'hui, vous découvrez nos talents. Nous vous prions d'être indulgents et de nous encourager. Je ne saurais terminer sans vous souhaiter joyeux Noël et une bonne année 2026. Vive l'éducation de base, vive Madame Fondatrice, vive l'école Anjani, vive Noël, vive les enfants. Anjani Bilingual Nursery and Primary School, Ignacy Chu. I want to say Mara, esprit d'Isabella, c'est Ignacy Chu qui a des occasions à la Christmas, des poupaches, des récitats, des récitats, des restes, des skis.
bilingual nursery and primary school, where you see those are nursery 2 pupils, nursery 2 and presenting speeches. What can you say about what you just heard them, how you saw them go about?
I will really appreciate the nursery, the bilingual school, because everything turns around the foundation. When the solid foundation, as what I'm seeing, it shows that those kids, where they are coming, they have got the base of education. Because when you do everything and give a good, better base of education to children like this, therefore their future is is bright. And I do thank the teachers that are there, and that with this spirit, I think everybody will be looking forward to put their children in that school.
At times the effervescence of Christmas feast is not only felt by the pupils who are celebrating. You have the teachers and you have the parents. And at Angeline, as much as Father Christmas was giving gift to these pupils, there was a time when music was played and teachers and parents joined in the dance. I want us to go back to our machines and watch the ambience that we found there. Teachers doing it and parents joining them in the dance. Welcome, where we had a Christmas feast yesterday, and we took our cameras to go and see the effervescence.
Because as time goes on, there are a lot of changes, and people bring in new pedagogic in the field of education, and it has been doing a lot. We just saw some nursery 2 children reading very well and expressing their know-how to the world, which means when you start from nursery 1 or from kindergarten, nursery 1, nursery 2, you are building, and those type of children that come, they have a solid way of approach, and they will have respect in the society. We really appreciate, because in those days it was like they would take your hand over your head. If your hand doesn't touch the ear, you will not go to school. You will be waiting until it touches. So it made in such a way that some of us were going to school
already semi-adult.
Yes, semi-adult. We went to school with people that were even shaving their chin. Yes, I had that privilege of going to school with people that were even shaving their chin. You see, at times you cannot even talk. Yes, when only the way they will look at you, come with papers, they discover that you have done better than them. They will look at you and say, "This small rat, how have you managed?" You see, so it makes like that, frustrating certain children that had that potentials in them, because they were children that when they bring papers in those days, they will first of all mark their papers and use it as a marking sheet. So only that some generation have been sacrificed. But we thank God is still alive.
At least somebody should always pay the price. I want to say a big thumbs up to the management of Anjani Bilingual Nigerian Primary School, especially to the founder of the school, Madame Joradine Anamani, and the Lord shall make your school grow from strength to strength, ladies and gentlemen. That was it about Christmas feast.
And
now
there's something I want to add to what Madam Angeline has been doing to Cameroon. Those are the type of people that government should look up to, should support them very well, so that their schools should push. Because in this type of way, we need such builders, nation vision bearers, nation builders. Nation building is not that you must be put in a ministerial post before you start doing something. She is doing a lot at her level. You see that those are people the government is supposed to come closer to them. Not that the government should be, as at times they go around closing schools, doing this. No, they should encourage people like this. That she need encouragement, and I think in the days ahead she's going to have a surprise. All
right, so back into business. We want to enter analyzing newspapers. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to first of all apologizing for not having the newspapers on the screen due to some technical hitches. Man make machines, but at times machine can fail man when man needs them the most. So the good thing is we are going now to analyze the newspapers. We're starting with the Los Angeles Times. We're talking Los Angeles Times, not the Washington Post. Los Angeles Times carries this morning as headline, Hollywood in turmoil as AI enters the scene. Taa NFORMI FANKA. We say we are in an AI generation where every country wants to, master the existence of artificial intelligence. Every country in the world is striving to get to know how to manage AI. But in as much as we think we are in a digital age where AI should be up there, this is Hollywood. When we talk Hollywood, we talk superstars. They are worried about the coming in of artificial intelligence. For instance, roles that used to be played by humans are now played by machines.
Yes.
So the people are really worried. What do you think about this?
I think their worries are real, and any person or nation that doesn't invest in AI is not up to fight what is the technology of these days. And robots, AI is doing, artificial intelligence is doing a lot. They manipulate machine, they do things, they do everything at will without many people on board, and this reduces human capital. That is something that we should really know.
We should worry about.
So worried, because imagine job that can be done by maybe by 200 people, AI can do it in less than how many? Yes, AI does it alone. 1,000 people, the AI does it alone. So what I will plead with government is that we should really know that we had a foundation where people were doing manual work or doing it technically, but AI is coming like this, and it is a blow to the job market. And we should not put ourselves into it, but we should know it and know how to manage it within the few things. But because anything that is AI, it's not natural. We want to feel the natural impact of humans. We should not sell our natural ways of doing things because AI is there. No, we should at least know that something natural, something that is done physically, it remains and portrays the image of, or transform the information that we wanted to pass to the world. But when it becomes so artificial, everything artificial, you see that unemployment is being tarnished. The employment is not up to the job market becomes so reduced, and it is not good at all.
Maybe it means we need to build our capacities in other areas where come rain, come shine, and AI cannot be sent to work there.
We really have to build skills, because what happens is that before AI is doing, is someone that has that thought.
Yes.
Therefore, we have to be fast thinking than the AI, because before it is like a caterpillar. When you want before it manipulates, if somebody has pressed a button, then if you don't use it well, you will use it to destroy the world.
Yes.
You see that the AI is being used because somebody had that thought, that developing thought, to do something positive in the society. But we should focus on manual labor that is something that is needs personal effort.
They say the AI is faster and more
faster
and more effective.
It's faster and more effective.
It does not go to rest like humans who have.
You cannot use it to write your PhD or to make your thesis.
You cannot.
So if you use it in writing your thesis, you see that you will fail. You fail. So there's something that the physical work and our IQ is still asking. So we're supposed to know that we build our capacity first of all, maybe in skills in other sections before using the AI, because you don't just depend everything on AI, because if you don't develop it well, you will find yourself being put in a section that you cannot develop your community.
All right. Yes. So we'll go to see what Morning Star, still in the United Kingdom. Morning Star this morning headlines: patient survival clearly linked to nursing numbers. Can we please have Morning Star? Thank you. Morning Star is talking about hospitals and the patient survival rate in the hospital that is closely linked to the number of nurses. Do you buy the idea that the more the nurses, the more efficient work in the hospitals get, and the survival of the patients is on a high trend?
I think this should just be a caption, because I see no hospital that the number of patients can link to the number of nurses that are working there. And
I mean, the survival of patients is linked to the number of nurses.
Yes.
If nurses are lacking at times, the survival is, you see, the higher the number of nurses, the higher the survival of patients percentage quota.
Yes. In really medicine, you need the personnel, which means the nurses and
doctors and every other person concerned
that should attend to patients. And with the caption there shows already that the number of nurses and those patients that survive is equivalent to the number of nurses, which signifies that the hospital personnel should be enough to attend to.
They count a lot.
Yes, they count a lot to attend to
patients.
Yes, they count a lot, because at times one can be battling here with his or her life while others are there. Then if at all the nurses are attending to all the number of patients that are in hospital, I think the survival rate rises. At times we cry out loudly that a patient has gone to a hospital, while they are attending to others, he'll be battling here with his or her life, and before coming to him, he's no more. So the number of nurses count, and the personnel attending to them count. So the health sector is a sector that they should invest in it very well, because they deal with human life. Anything connected to human life, it is not artificial, it is physical, and should be attended to on time. Because if time is wasted, I think we shall lose many lives. So I really appreciate the hospital in place, that the caption comes from there, and that hospitals or health units and personnel around the world should count up for the number of nurses.
All right, to move to Nigeria with Business Day Sunday. Business Day Sunday in Nigeria this morning is carrying as caption: Dangote breaking the jinx as refinery ends petrol scarcity. This is Dangote, is one person who is making waves in his business tendencies in his refinery. We are all beneficiaries one way or the other, directly or indirectly, of Dangote's business ideas. You see, now Nigerians are happy that the refinery has brought an end to petrol scarcity in Nigeria. Can we say such of Cameroon about our own, how they call it? What is that you're to say, refinery company? What was that name again?
Sonora. I do appreciate Dangote. Dangote is not only in Nigeria, he's in Cameroon, he's in many African nations. And when we want to talk of those who do investment in African nations, Dangote is doing a lot, and I should appreciate it, because there was one time the Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development once visited Douala in one five-star hotel, one five-star hotel in the town. So we had the privilege to be there, and I saw his manager, who is a Bassaman here in Cameroon. That I think Dangote.
He's doing well.
He's doing
for
well.
Africa.
Yes, and
He's
so
a
well.
worthy son of the continent.
Yes, he looks at what will serve
The community.
and that is what people should look.
His business is community oriented.
Yes, community oriented. And when you are a son of the soil, an African, doing such a thing, you are solving problems. That is what we need. And the government of Nigeria has to hold his hand and do even more, because they give money to certain people to invest. They don't invest. But I think with his seat, he needs to invest more and more again. To talk about Sonora, you know, last time we had there was fire incident. Yes, there. And I think from there they were trying how to do this. Imagine that we went again and signed a deal with Equatorial Guinea that there will be production of petroleum there. And I think we have one of the most best crude oil in the world in Cameroon. You see, the crude oil that we have, they will carry it to the diaspora, treat it there, remove a lot of potentials inside, then bring us fake to be using in our vehicles. So as you are saying, we are praying that the government in place should do everything that refinery, we should start doing the refinery here, because we should transport but what we have already refined, not what is unrefined, because what we refine here will be more better and will make our vehicles to stay for long. Yes, life expand to expand their lives very well, because you know at times when they go and walk the crude oil, what they bring to us is not what they are using there.
And the prices.
And the prices yes, and the prices all as well.
But when the prices get up, the consumer is the one that suffers.
The consumers have been suffering just because, you know, when we say the poor governance is what? Is when they don't take care to know that think about consumers' goods. Consumers' goods is where the problem starts. Consumers' goods is where any unrest in the country starts. Consumers' goods is where people can't look up to this. It's on daily basis. The consumer, even you see food from the market, farm to market, they are not because
the roads are bad.
Yes, you see the route. These food items are there because petroleum is there. Imagine they come and be selling petroleum at 300 francs. You will go to the market 1.5 and buy food, and you will be very okay. But the way when petrol goes up, every other thing goes up. So we are pleading that the Cameroon government, as the 7th September has come right now, they should make sure that Sonora should start refining petroleum in Cameroon. That would be a big deal, because that is what we want. That is local national companies should do it. Sonora is directly Cameroon. Why wait that we should be dependent on services again? We should make sure and meet the 21st century technology as depending on technology. We have already people in those fields. Let them be practical and pragmatic in the field. Not that we should be using this literature or theory again. We have reached that level that we can at least be working and be enjoying what our fatherland has given us.
All right, we'll move over to Cameroon with the Guardian Post. This morning, the Guardian Post newspaper is carrying as caption: government secures 51.8 billion francs CFA to revive and modernize the CDC. This is 51.8 billion to revive and modernize CDC. This very CDC over here, workers go for years without being paid, and this is another loan that government has secured with the aim of reviving and modernizing it. What can you say in relation to this?
I'm so happy that the government entity that when they have their company, they make sure that they put enough money into it so that the management should be well. And I should appreciate, and I say it should go round, and they should do also in other companies so that the people should feel the impact. You know, CDC, they have been all the time on street trying to make strike actions, and the salary, and because of salary or all that, and finally they have come to this stage. And I tell the government that it's high time that the government should first of all look into the crisis, because I know CDC is not only in the in littoral, or it's always in the southwest. So, and where we have security threats, when there are security threats like that, we know of some CDC workers who were brutally dealt with. Some were cut, their fingers were chopped up, and some are even killed. So I'm pleading to the government that when they want to invest in any company, they have to invest mostly in the security. In the security, and first of all, as this matter is going up like that, they should make sure that they talk about the dialogue they have been talking of, because the dialogue is what will make things be move freely, because so that people should move freely. They mentioned last time of the community dialogue. I think if the head of state can travel to Boya and even go to Bamenda and personally launch the community dialogue, it will be good. I think by just traveling and reaching there and saying, my children, upon all this time, I have not come here. Even during the campaign, I had only time to go to Marawa, and I think the first places I will come will be in Southwest and go to Bamenda, then launch this community dialogue. I think people will align. We have been carrying and trying to make people understand that though there are some hardships, but the President of the Republic has accepted that there will be another dialogue. And after we have been propagating this for more than 4 years, I think his endorsement shows the faith and his good faith of riding on. He doesn't stop. He gives opportunity to people to talk to themselves, to see that, to value each other. And I think what we're supposed to do as the media houses, you have to at times then you make people understand that the President of the Republic of Cameroon endorsed community dialogue, and community dialogue is used in neglected crisis, and it makes people to talk to themselves. It makes people to understand themselves first of all, and not to see a neighbor or the other person as like an enemy. So I'm saying coming to CDC, because the investment that is the number of billions, 51.8 billions that is put in the coffers of CDC.
It's not small money.
It's not small money. So imagine that the dialogue can make it that people will come many workers will come in to boost the production of the CDC sector.
Okay, and now the drum still in Cameroon carries another headline: 2026 budget. Palm Plantation PLC adopts over CFA francs 23 billion. The drum is talking about the budget, the 2026 budget that has been adopted by Palm. Everything in Cameroon is billion. Here they have adopted 23 billion as 2026 budget. Don't you think at times these budgets are way too much? They are like overblown sums of money set aside as budgets to help those who siphon to be able to siphon.
You are very correct, because we just get budgets all the time, but when it is like that, at the end of the day, no accountability, and that is where we are failing. And if there is a government that doesn't hold tight to the accountability, no matter the number of billions they put in place, it will not create impact. And that is what is happening in Cameroon, because it's a nation where either you hear that they have stolen billions or they have put billions into a project, and finally the project is not well realized, or
times not realized at all.
They are not realized at all. You see that there is lack of follow-up and there is lack of accountability. And a nation that wants to stand up, fight corruption, fight accountability, make sure that when they give the money, the accountability is the most highest part of it. Imagine only the companies and government offices that are around that they do accountability. I tell you, Madam Frida, you will see that they will recover some much money that they will still put in other projects. But the fact that they give and sit behind, the person thinks and does anything. It's painful, because we hear of the amount, billions. They talk of billions in Cameroon, of which elsewhere you see what millions do, but here billions come on table, but they do nothing. So it's to a certain level, you see that citizens have been put aside. Why those in offices or in those places where they give billions, they manage it the way they don't even care about the citizens down there. And that's where you see that it calls for the government to bring in new forces to fight corruption, to fight accountability, to see that they do the real accountability. Because if at all, by giving like that, and after they come and say, okay, what have you done with this? There's a follow-up team. They should put up a follow-up team that they surprise them. Then, hey, just enter the office and say, okay, what is happening here? This money that they gave to you the other day, what have you done with it?
Statements of account.
Yes, a statement of account should be there, and they should go to the field and see what is done in the field. Because at times, the pen that people, the intellectuals are using today, they use it, they write on paper as well, but when you go to the field, you don't see anything there. So we want, when you go to the field, you see what it impacts people and not just paperwork.
All right, Cameroon Insider is talking about the same loan, like they say this morning. France CFA 51.8 billion available for CDC, palm oil and rubber plants. I don't want us to look at that one. Yes, thank you. We have the Sun. The Sun this morning carries a headline: Professor Gomohora's manga steering UB through reform, resilience, and global relevance. The paper says this morning that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya, Professor Ngomohora's manga, speaks on academic quality, expansion, and employability. When we talk about the University of Boya, we see University of Boya as the pride of Anglo-Saxon education in Cameroon, and now the Vice Chancellor is saying is rolling through resilience, UB. The Vice Chancellor says yes, it's rolling through quality education. Those are the areas he lays emphasis: quality education, expansion, that's expanding the university, be at other faculties, and of course employability. See how to go professional. You see, to professionalize education. So, any word for the University of Boya? Is that where you schooled?
It's not there that I schooled, and I think I did a lot in Yaoundé.
All right.
Yes, but I will talk something here.
Yeah.
What the Professor Ngomo is doing is great.
No.
Because we are living in a modern world, and technology is advancing. Anything that you do now without digital or without looking at the job market,
you are left behind.
You are left behind. That is why we have to bring in new expertise in the university, and so that it goes with the job market that we're having now. And I think that idea is good. That's why we say we should always bring in new people, new ideas. And as I think the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ngomo Horace Manga, is doing a lot. And those are the type of people that we look up to them and listen to them very well. We should also know that the University of Boya has suffered a lot. Even before it was put in place, the people went on strike, all these things went on strike. So we are pleading that things like this, government should invest money on it, so that the professor should bring all his expertise inside. Because there are some. I think
every university has a budget.
Yes, they should put enough budget at his disposal, so that he doesn't find difficulties in bringing his dreams to board. So I think we appreciate that, and it should not only be in Boya, other universities should also fall in line, because the job market of today is too demanding. Elsewhere they are thinking of robots. Robots are the one doing the services. They manipulate robots. They are doing this. Even in companies,
robots are serving in restaurants.
That is it. So you see that it makes the job market. The human capital. When we put skills on the table, I think we shall be talking in the job market.
What are some of the skills you think we can divert our attention to, since artificial intelligence is coming to steal the show for humans? Agriculture? Can robots go to the farm to plant corns?
Agriculture, robots do planting. Machines do planting. Machines do harvesting.
Will be unemployed.
So the only thing is that
because robots read news.
Yes, the only thing is that as we are better on the Ministry of Agriculture to allocate funds to people that shall be coming to ask for funds, because one thing in agriculture is that you must have the funds. If you don't have the finances, you can't do
mechanized agriculture.
Yes. So we learned a time there were some tractors that were being brought that they want to make cassava, make this in Cameroon, make rice. I think the tractors are getting rot in southern region to them directly. When they bring things that will help us in the farms and they are not given to us, you see that it will give a lot of doubt So we don't want a doubting generation, because this generation is fast thinking. They don't want to be dependent. They want to be doing it themselves. So if a time that people are so dependent at first, but now that everybody wants to be at the action level, that at the action front. So we are pleading that government, since they are all in the divisions, in the subdivisions, they are Ministry of Agriculture, they should come on board, like on the TV, like here on Pan African Media TV. Then explain to the people how you can do before you have loans, because people don't know.
People live in ignorance.
People live in ignorance, and if this thing is not well explained, so that those who are there should not do fictitious things, because at times the money comes, it is there, they don't know, and those who are there corner their family members
in their hands,
then use it in their hands, and finally they give reports on papers, while on the ground not touches the lives of people. Should always come on TV, have programs all over, and try to explain, try to educate the people. Civic education is what is very, very important, and that is what our government is lacking. They don't communicate, because if they really communicate, I think people will do the little they have. But the fact that they don't communicate and they see people stealing huge sum of money while others are suffering, that it causes a lot of unrest in the society. That is what people are saying, and it is true. You know, the government is supposed to make sure that they pass the message, they come on board. The program should be well known. There's nothing in the hidden. You are working for the people. Why be writing as if you are writing an exam and hiding a paper that is going to all of you are going to have the same answer? They will say it has leaked. No. The government communicate, because you are serving the people. You are not only serving those who are around you, you are serving the nation. So please, it's something. Communication is good in good governance.
Okay, we are done analyzing, and it's December. We have 5 minutes to go. So tell me, how prepared are you for Xmas? Have you bought my Christmas dress already?
You know,
or you prefer to send me to the market?
The fact is that I will really send you to the market, because you know your choices are so hard. I can go and carry something that will not fit you, that you will be a type. So what I will say that during this Christmas, it's a time of forgiveness, and people put all around their differences and look up to God and call God first, because it should not be God in pretense, it should be God sincerely. Because if actually we look up to God and start loving a neighbor or loving the other one, we see that we shall have appeasement and celebrate the end of year festivities very well, and start another year in a good style. But when we go around pretending, we keep pretending, because there are a lot of pretenders out there. That is what is worrying our society and making our society so difficult and so tense and so threatening, and that is what is going on. We are working at ISCC for Justice, Peace and Development. We see that people are anxious to listen, but when we go talking, they say they need help. That is the humanitarian action in Cameroon is not working. So the government is dormant on that sector, and mostly in the marginalized zones and on the zone in distress. You know, when they talk of zones in distress, you have the northern regions, you have southwest, you have northwest, even the eastern region. You see that these areas, people go there when they're talking to people. When you cannot talk to somebody who is hungry and will listen to you.
A hungry man is an angry man.
Yes. So the government should know that these areas lack a lot of companies. If companies are put in those areas, nobody will hold a gun and go to the bush, and nobody will. They will be working. They will get up one morning in the morning and go back to a job site. But when they keep the places dry, there is nothing that people can look up to go and work, and at the end of the month, like salary or what. Even routes, farm to market route, they are not even there. You see, even though to travel and reach into other villages, they are not there. So we are pleading that this time around, if all those places are open, the farmers will enjoy. If the route, farm to market route are there, the farmers will enjoy, and they bring other companies and put. Imagine that they see a deep seaport. We have been crying for years, and it is not forthcoming. But other mushroom things are happening. We think that it is time government should start by doing something, and by doing that thing, it should be pragmatic. It should not just be promising, and as they are doing, they are doing those things, and we are telling the people this is what the government is, the effort the government is doing. I think they will listen. As imagine like the community dialogue I'm talking about. Some people don't even know about it. You see, because of what? They are hungry. They don't have the time to come and sit and watch us talk. You know, they are fighting to make ends meet. It is not yet meeting. They go to the market. They are unable to buy enough food for the market, for the families. You see that we have a lot of the table, and the government reshuffle, the cabinet reshuffle, people are waiting for. It's like we are waiting for a child, the child is not forthcoming. Waiting for the child is not forthcoming. So we are spreading that people of integrity should be put at their meritocracy places to serve the nation, not that they should be there to serve themselves. And we go into strike actions again. No, we don't want to teaching people how to go and strike actions, because when strike actions come, it is because they have put the wrong person at the wrong place and he's not managing well. You know, when you put the right person, he knows, he communicates with the people. You know, when he communicates, he gives timeline, he gives the period on how things are being managed. So we beg on the government and plead that, we promise that we are going to work hand in glove with the present government so that we open doors and communicate any of the things that they are doing.
All right, thank you for those departing words, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from our guest of today. All I want to say is Christmas is the time of reconciliation. Christmas is the time of forgiveness. You heard it from our guest. It is Christmas. We are anticipating. We are celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in 3 days. And stay safe. Do what you can do at your pace. Do not compete. Get what you can get at your pace. No child to push you to buying dresses of 50,000 francs or one. No, do everything you can do at your pace. Let's spend Christmas together. Let unity, let peace reign, because those are the only things that build the people and make people grow. And of course, it's time to share with those who do not have. They say the little you have, you share with your neighbor. So it is important to show love during this time. A reason why I want to say thank you to my technician there for the beautiful images you're having and the sound, and thank you for Taa NFORMI FANKA for being with us this morning, and we are sharing our love from here to you. See you after Christmas, and until we meet again, stay safe and stay blessed.
Thank you so much.